Hey, it's Coach Nye here, Mind Over Sport. Thanks for taking the minute or two with me today. It's actually tape with Coach Nye, the episode where we do a conversation, you and I out there. I'd love to hear your opinions. It could be a matter that's up in the sports world, trending right now, or it could just be a matter that's been on my mind and I want to talk about it. So that's what this segment's all about. So bear with me, and as I go on and chatter, but feel free to send me off some comments and share the episode as well with followers and with others that you friends and that. So right now we're getting back into the school year. First month's almost done. We still have the COVID and the pandemics all going on. Some good, some bad news, and so forth. But we're pushing forward. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Believe me, I believe this. It's not always going the way that we want it, but we're all trying to do the best we can. But that's not what I was going to talk about today. We've exhausted that topic over time. What I am going to talk about, and as I say, we're getting back to sports in a semi-normal way, but this topic was discussed, I guess it was about 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years ago, by a gentleman that I know and respect very, very much. And it was the topic of the we said 4 biggest problems in youth sports at that time, and I think it's still the same. And I just have some concerns and want to express my opinion, and I want you to express your opinion back to me. You can reach out to me at coachnye at mindoversport.com and voice those opinions, or you get onto our Mind Over Sport Facebook page, and once this is recorded, we've put it out, you can express your comments underneath the video. But yeah, we've all heard the stories regarding parents and the kids and the coaches and so forth, and some are very heartbreaking. Others can be inspiring. Way back in 2015, I think it was 2014, I heard of a what was it, a 16-year-old girl. The family was suing the region of the volleyball association because they forced her or weren't letting her move to another team in the league, and wasn't getting the promised time of and what spot she was supposed to be playing. There was another story too as well, where a father was in Philadelphia was suing for $40 million because his son got cut from the track team. You hear these crazy stories out there. It kind of reflects what is wrong in our sport, especially youth sport. But we also hear some good stories, and I'll get into those a little later. But the number one problem I see with youth sports right now is hate to say it, parents who won't let the game belong to the kids. Okay? So you get these type of stories that I just talked to you about. Let the kids play. Doesn't matter what position they're in. Let the kids play. When you, as a parent, get involved and do those type of things, suing or putting a request or a whatever appeal into a league, what you're doing is 2 things. One, yes, you want your child to be noticed so they can go off to play higher levels, maybe school, whatever. Guess what? Doing those type of things into the appeals or suing, yeah, you're going to get your child noticed, all right? And every coach in that sport, in that country, now knows who your daughter is, but they also have crossed the daughter's name off their list because there's baggage. They don't want baggage. Really don't need to do that kind of thing. So that, to me, that's the number one problem, is when we're not letting the kids be kids. Release your child to the game that they love and let them be. Again, my opinion, but I think there's stories to back it up as well. Problem number 2 could be athletes need to own their own decisions before, both good and bad. Okay? We have the parents that are, we call, maybe that term's gone now, but helicopter or lawnmower parents, mow down everything that is in the way of their kids' pathway to their sport. But what we need is allow the youth athlete to have ownership. Okay? So if they make a bad decision, so be it. That's the way it is. That's what athletes make, bad decisions all the time in their competition. But that's where you learn to get better from those past mistakes. We need to do, as parents, allowing them to understand their sport, allowing to grow in their sport, and allowing to make their decisions right or wrong and learn from them. We don't want to create quitters. And sometimes when we get involved as adults and they decide they're going to stop playing for whatever reason, and we just go along with it, what are they going to do the rest of their life? Same thing. So we need to allow the players to make those mistakes. Okay? See, college coaches recruit players because they are good players, good people, good students, and good teammates. Not because what happened or what went on back in 9th grade, 10th grade. Okay? Problem number 3, in my opinion, again, coaches. It's not all about parents, but coaches who fail to respect the kids and the sport and ignore the massive impact they have on the athlete's life. They don't understand some coaches. See, winning does not make a great coach. Being a great role model and leader for your young athletes and teaching character and life lessons, caring about your athletes, coaching a child, not a sport, those things make a great coach. One of the most problematic things in youth sports are coaches that take huge rosters of players for financial reasons and then don't give the kids the playing time. I'm a big believer, you pick them, you play them. Simple as that. I know there's injuries and you get into junior leagues and higher leagues that you got to have the reserves. I get that. I understand that, but not 10 on, sitting in the stands. Maybe 3 to 4, and that allows them to be part of the team as well. To be fair, you need to first understand that what the philosophy of this coach is all about, and make sure that they are aware of what your philosophy as a parent is. Even in the junior aspect, junior hockey, I'm using an example. It's a business. Bottom line, kids are there to improve, to get better, depending on the league and how far they want to advance. I get all that. But there's got to be still the opportunity for those kids to grow, to learn, to understand the sport. Fourth problem, the last one I want to talk about, is youth organizations that serve adults and not the kids. We get them all the time. Example that of the first story I told you about, the parents asking for a transfer from one league to another. some organizations would go for that and allow it to pass because they're serving what the adult wants. What does the child want? What does the young athlete want? Probably wants to play where her friends are, or his friends are, teammates. He wants to have fun. I mean, that's probably where they should play. So we got to be careful of not sticking our noses into things that really don't need to be stuck into. You've got things of when this happens and you allow one to do one thing and then deny another, then you have big confrontation that happens. So organizations have to be careful on that as well. So with all these 4 topics, 4 problems I foresee or have seen, what are we to do about it? I believe that these are the 4 biggest issues in sports, youth sports. We all can shoulder the blame, as they say, from the parents to the coaches to the organizations to volunteers, unfortunately, as well. Should the athlete just tough it out? The parents should have found a better venue to deal with it first. The coach should have known better. Or the league should have done more. These are all things that get questioned. But it's the unfortunate part. We all look at it. It's the youth, the young athlete that gets the bearer of bad news and gets dragged through the mud and so forth. But there is something bigger than this. We are all to blame for this mess, including myself in some instances as a coach and has gone through as a management. Because we stood and allowed some things to happen in the past. And we made it too professional. And it stole a lot of things from kids. I mean, even the COVID in the past year and a half has stolen some things from kids. Playing this game that they love and not allowing them to be with friends and all that type of thing and affected their mental health. There's too many of us that coach from the sidelines, coach in the car ride home, make it more miserable for the youth to go out and have fun and play. And there's many of us parents that treat youth sports as an investment in the future, i.e. scholarships. So they push more and more younger kids to get better, to specialize, even in spite of the evidence that it is physically and psychologically harmful, detrimental, that affects the long-term chances of the young athlete to succeed. We also allow even our younger kids, younger ones, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, to participate in sports clubs that make cuts from the elite teams. It affects their mind. It may not affect them right away, but it does. And too many of us ask, as adults and parents, did you win? Instead of, did you have fun? Did you learn something today? We also look at things and de-emphasize free play and replace it with organized activities. The day of when I played more outside on the pond with all my buddies in the winter than I did probably actually in a rink in an organized sport. I look forward to that as a kid just as much as going to an organized game in the arena. And we can go on and on about all this, but the huge majority of parents and coaches who do not like the current situation, the toxic problems on the sidelines, over-the-top parents, the bully coaches, the politics, specializations, all the things involved here, we don't like it, but we don't do too much about it. We don't say anything. We don't demand a change. We simply complain or talk about it in a video and then watch our kids burn out, drop out, and quit. The silent majority need to take up the conversation. We must stand up to more coaches, to more clubs and organizations that are failing our children. We need to stand up on the sidelines and speak with the people that aren't online or on the same page. We need to find out organizations, what their core values are, what their mission statement is. And we need to understand that the kid is there for the fun of the game. And we got to remember that. We don't need our lawyers or law system to fix our youth sports problems. What we need is everyone to join up in a project or in a fair play project, or let the kids play project, and make it for the kids. And I know there's organizations that do this, and they're out there now, especially in the hockey world, and a lot of them aren't sanctioned by Hockey Canada because they're tired of those strict rules. I get that. We do need to stand up and be heard and change the game, as Coach O'Sullivan has told me many times. So my opinions have been expressed, what I feel in youth sports the 4 problems are. I'd like to hear more from you. What can we do on the sidelines, behind closed doors? Can this be fixed? And how can it be fixed? Love your opinions. Again, thanks for joining me on this special edition of Tape to Tape with Coach Nye. I appreciate it. And again, check out our website, www.mindoversport.ca. If you have some comments, put them below. Or send me an email, coachnye@mindoversport.com. Until next time, be the change you want to be and be determined out there. Bye for now.